this is Manindrabu from Batam. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Sela Sadakau from Vatukola. I only listen to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold Naka, I'm Vale and I'm working at Golden Grove Resort, and I love listening to Gold FM because it plays a really wide range of classic music.
I'm Hayne from Kashmir Wotoka. I like Gold FM, but only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Good evening, I'm Jackie Spade. This is FBC News Tonight. Sugar consultations in Lambasa hears of differences in opinions. And International Day Against Homophobia and Transphobia imparts message of equality. Jarryd Hayne's dream to play for Fiji and the Olympics is alive after he got the all clear from World Rugby to compete at this weekend's London Sevens. The former 49er is expected to train with the Vodafone Fiji Sevens team in the next few hours. Vashnil Prasad reports.
While the war of words continues overseas, our very own Jarryd Hayne will go through his first training run with coach Ben Ryan and his brigade in few hours' time. Vashnil Prasad, FBC News.
Sugarcane farmers in Lambasa feel more hearings and consultations should be made before the implementation of the Reform of Sugarcane Industry Bill 2016 and the Sugarcane Growers Fund Bill 2016. The two bills are currently before Parliamentary Standing Committee, which is seeking views of sugarcane farmers. Eleanor Tarangai with this report.
The Parliamentary Standing Committee on Economic Affairs was in Lambasa today to hear submissions from cane farmers on the Reform of Sugarcane Industry Bill of 2016 and the Sugarcane Growers Fund Amendment Bill. The National Farmers Union says they do not agree to the proposed changes.
We are not happy with the way the thing is being pushed. You remember a lot of issues has personally growers have expressed themselves how difficult it has been for the cane farmer. So we want to retain the current Sugar Industry Act. We want to retain the master award. Any changes, if comes be, should be negotiated with consultation widely.
Of particular concern to the union is the membership of the Sugarcane Growers Council.
Under this bill, there is a proposal that they want to put in two representatives, grower representatives from the Cane Producers Association. And the union's view is that a grower should have a direct representation in the council, and he needs a direct voting. You cannot convey your voting right to somebody else to choose a representative.
Committee Chair, Member of Parliament Vijay Nath says they have noted all the submissions made and will put it into a report.
After hearing everybody, we'll go back to committee stage when we'll compile this report. After compiling the report, it should be put to the Parliament in the next sitting, which is on, I think, 29th or 30th. So
submissions are still open and will close on the 20th of this month. Eleanor Tarangai, FBC News.
International Day Against Homophobia and Transphobia was celebrated today with the theme Mental Health and Well-Being. Former President and UN Pacific Goodwill Ambassador Ratu Epeli Nailatikau says it's imperative that there is awareness in societies to complement legislation that aims to ensure no discrimination. Maggie Boyle tells us more.
23 years ago, the World Health Organization removed homosexuality from its mental disorder list. IDAHOT is a day that celebrates sexual diversity and embraces the human rights ideal that is inclusive of all.
You can't just pass legislation and leave it at that. Like with the AIDS decree when it was passed. They had workshops on that, and that assisted greatly. So we have to do that.
No one should face targeting or discrimination because of sexual orientation or gender identity. To claim freedom of love, to say loud and clear that LGBTI rights are human rights.
For frontliners of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender and queer community, IDAHOT is a time to reflect.
Currently we're working with the LGBTI organizations and other mental health stakeholders in offering support, creating safe spaces, and facilitating dialogue between the organizations.
It's about every day where people that face discrimination, not just the LGBT community, but every minority community should be acknowledged, and that other people should join in their fight for basically for freedom and for human rights.
Today is really important for the LGBTI community, not just to pay tribute to the lives lost because of homophobia and transphobia, but it's also about today to celebrate the victories and also stocktake of the challenges ahead of us.
Complementing this, a project was recently launched to conduct national research into sexual and gender-based violence against transgender persons. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
The Committee on Foreign Affairs and Defence has received numerous submissions on the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. The signing of the UN Convention is viewed as the game changer for Fiji, which would see the status of persons with disabilities upheld by their rights under the law. Executive Director, Fiji National Council for Disabled Persons, Dr. Sitiveni Yanuyanutawa, says they fully support the ratification of the UN Convention. He says this will help strengthen domestic legislation in the Bill of Rights included in the 2013 Constitution. Also making submissions today for SODELPA was Opposition Officer Peter Wangavonovono. There are more than 12,000 people currently living with disabilities in Fiji. Nadi police are questioning a man for his alleged involvement in the printing of counterfeit money that has recently been discovered in the Western Division. The suspect was arrested in Nadi yesterday following a tip-off. 17 fake $100 bills were discovered in a Nadi nightclub over the weekend. A businesswoman of Namosao Bar found one of the $100 bills while counting cash on Sunday. In another incident, an apparently fake $20 note was discovered by a supermarket cashier in Tavua last week. Police spokesperson Ananais Oro says another fake bill was discovered this morning.
Investigations are into early stages, and they have been tasked to ensure that they find out whether it's been printed locally and all the and the distribution, whether how much is being distributed there. Once all that is put together, then we'll be able to comment further.
The notes have been sent to the Reserve Bank of Fiji for verification. Coming up on FBC News, regional unity to support education of children following natural disasters.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tavua, and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Ganiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka, and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Mulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM, it rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The education of children is one of the most affected areas during disasters, and it needs to be safeguarded. EU Ambassador to the Pacific Andrew Jacobs made the comment in light of earthquakes, floods, cyclones and droughts throughout the Pacific region. Kelly Vavala has the details.
8 Pacific nations have agreed to work together in improving school safety across the region and in amplifying efforts to make children and the education sector more resilient to the impact of disasters.
Make sure that all school facilities are structurally safe and able to protect children during disasters. It aims also to ensure that appropriate school disaster management practices are effectively implemented and that risk reduction and resilience education is taught in school in order to build a culture of safety in schools and in the communities that surround them.
His words come as Fiji recovers from the impact of Tropical Cyclone Winston, which destroyed 497 schools and affected more than 85,000 students.
See, Winston, lives were lost, homes destroyed, livelihoods damaged, with thousands seeking refuge in evacuation centers. Children have suffered greatly through loss of materials and equipment in schools. Some schools are unable to be used, and therefore children are learning in temporary learning spaces.
As these problems continue, Fiji is hosting the first technical meeting with Pacific neighbors, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, Tuvalu, Kiribati, Papua New Guinea, Samoa and Tonga at Novotel in Lamy.
This two-day workshop will allow governments, stakeholders and safety advocates to engage in hazard awareness, concerns, strategies and undertake collective planning. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
The Health Ministry's new Fight the Bite campaign to eradicate mosquito breeding places today saw Health Minister Chone Usumate visit Valenivina and Matata settlements in Lamy. Sainiani Mboila reports.
It's picking up rubbish like this that can ease the challenges faced by communities and the Health Ministry in fighting mosquito-borne diseases. Health Minister Usamate said when a community takes the initiative on its own, they provide a great help to the Health Ministry.
I'm glad to see that the people in this area, in Valenivina and Matata, have organized, and I thank our staff. And this is basically what we need. We need the people of this country, in all parts of the country, to get up to organize themselves.
The Health Minister says Fiji has a great chance of reducing mosquito-borne diseases if we work hand in hand.
We are worried about mosquitoes, but if we are proactive and if we are, as many of us as possible, try to make sure that we reduce the areas in which mosquitoes breed, then you have a greater chance of reducing the likelihood of any mosquitoes coming out of diseases.
Usamate says church organizations, the private sector and government are coming on board to fight the bite. He adds living in a mosquito-borne disease-free Fiji is all about working together. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
The support of industry stakeholders has been the catalyst in the success story for the 199 students that graduated from the Fiji Technical College last week. And as it churns out graduates, it is hopeful that those coming out of their systems are securing quality employers that will pay well. Madhyam Bolaitamana with this report.
The first batch of students graduating from the Fiji Technical College after its inception 2 years ago.
I'm the largest provider for skills training here in Fiji. There's a lot of opportunities available. People who have the aptitude for trade skills, please come and join it.
The Reo says the support from the industry has been great in absorbing students for apprenticeships, whilst many have gone to secure jobs.
We have close to 400 here in Nadi, and out of that 180 to 200 we are hoping to graduate them next year April for our second graduation. All in all, it has been a very hectic journey for Technical College of Fiji.
Some 400 trainees are currently at the institution this year, will follow the steps of their pioneers in the coming year.
They'll automatically be absorbed into the industry as full-time employees. Some of these trainees, while they were still on attachment, they had already secured their full-time employment. So it's a very encouraging and positive indication of what TCF, or Technical College of Fiji, is doing or providing for the nation.
TCF is expected to open more centres this year as it continues to raise the standard of our trade skills people out there. Madhyam Bolaitamana, FBC News.
The Fijian Elections Office has replaced over 2,000 lost or damaged electronic voter registration cards in the last 7 days. Supervisor of Elections Mohammed Saneem says this is done to assist people who have been affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston. Saneem says people who needed new EVR cards will be accommodated during the Help for Homes initiative program.
We're very excited that a lot of Fijians took the opportunity to get the voter ID cards replaced as soon as possible, and we're very, very thankful for the government to allow the Fijian Elections Office to accompany Help for Home initiative teams all over the affected areas so that we could very quickly replace the voter ID cards.
The Fijian Elections Office has also registered over 400 voters, and 279 voters have updated their personal information. In an effort to help schools that were affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston, Dulux Australia has donated around $40,000 worth of paints. This is over 2,000 litres or 540 gallons of paint. Pacific Coatings Limited, a local subsidiary also donated $10,000 cash towards the Prime Minister's Disaster Relief Rehabilitation Fund. The RFMF band put up an impressive performance for the Queen at her 90th birthday celebrations. The band performed at Windsor Castle at the Queen's request. Ali Kimbia has the details.
Performing for the royal family is a lifetime opportunity for the RFMF band. They drew loud applause from the audience. This was the highlight of the celebration. The Fijian flag was amongst the 6 Commonwealth nations flags carried by head of the RFMF band, Colonel Sirevi Bananalangi. Apart from the splendid performance, a significant part of Fiji's culture was also on show, including Andrua. Chochi Misaele, who was in charge of the canoe, says for it to be on show at the arena, it was something special.
Many people are really interested in in this show, especially the canoe sailing into the arena, and it was really fascinating to a lot of people here.
Misaele and Colonel Vananalangi were also part of the 6-member Fiji delegation who attended a tea party in Windsor Castle where they met the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Sports is up next. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Thanks, Jackie, and hello again. Coming up tonight, Kunatani ruled out of London Sevens. And Roy Krishna looks forward to Rio Olympics. These stories and more after the break.
Although we will take you on a TV in a market in Tawa. Although Talitana, Warrona, Bula FM, and number 2 and a set.
Bulabana Vici, Nadago Palacio Materia, one may Nana Bulabula Tabiuni, Ausatuga Nandi, and the Talita Warrongo and a Bula FM. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 and a set.
As mentioned earlier in the bulletin, World Rugby has cleared all doubts shadowing Jarryd Hayne's eligibility for the Vodafone Fiji Sevens team. FRU Chief Executive Officer John O'Connor says while they welcome the decision by Hayne to contend for a spot in the national sevens team, they will only comment if and when Hayne makes the cut into the final 12-member team. Semi Kunatani will not be considered for the Vodafone Fiji Sevens team to compete in London. Coach Ben Ryan confirmed that Kunatani needs more time to recover from a leg injury. Also excluded from selection are Chosua Tuisova and Leone Nakarawa, who have returned to club commitments. These omissions leave space for Pio Tuwai, Masive Sindakuanga and Viliame Mata to make it back into the tournament squad, while Waisea Nathalevu also remains in contention for another call-up after receiving clearance from his club. Ryan will name his final 12-member team for the London tournament on Friday. Meanwhile, you can watch the London Sevens live on Fbctv. 15 Fijian children will be given a chance to be ball carriers in the match between the Chiefs and Crusaders at ANZ Stadium in Suva on July 1st. Super Rugby Steering Committee Chair Litiano Lombuka says this will be a great opportunity for the kids to come close to their Super Rugby heroes. 8 children will be selected for ball carrier duties on the day, while 7 will be reserves. Applications close on the 10th of June. Fijian football wonder boy Roy Krishna looks forward to playing at the Rio Olympics in August. Krishna was present at the Vodafone Fiji Fact pool draws in his hometown Lambasa over the weekend. Rohit there with the story.
But like I said, nothing is possible, and we just need to trust in our game plan and in our coaches and the tactics, and I think we'll give a good run to the best teams.
Krishna says the enthusiasm of fans reminds him of his days playing for the Babasing Alliance.
Well, when I first came, it reminded me of my days when I used to play for Lambasa, and the atmosphere around here. You can see all the crowds looking for the tournament, and it's been a good challenge, and the pools are pretty tough, both pools, so it's going to be a hard one, and looking forward for the tournament, and it will be awesome.
Athletes hoping to represent the country in the Melanesian Games in July have been hard at training for a few months. Officials are happy with the showing during the national trials held over the weekend and believe our athletes can spring some surprises. Charlene Dadakadaka has more.
Athletics Fiji hopes to get a clear picture of where its development plan currently stands by fielding around 300 athletes against the best in the Melanesian region.
Probably going to field probably one of the biggest teams we've ever fielded in the history of athletics, just because it's at home. And we've got for both the men and the women's team, Fiji A, Fiji B, and also under 18 teams for both boys and girls.
US-based athletes Aaron Powell, Eunice Besse and Cecilia Sebula will also be competing as they chase a wildcard entry into the Rio Olympic Games.
We're looking forward to having them as part of the team, and also to join up with our younger athletes and just to help them along to see there is more to athletics than just the Coca-Cola Games.
Majority of the athletes are secondary school students, so Athletics Fiji is happy to see them go up against athletes from New Caledonia, Norfolk Island, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu and Papua New Guinea. Talento Takataka, FBC Sports.
The Fiji weightlifting team is wrapping up its preparations for the Oceania Championships in Suva next week, with New Caledonia-based Manueli Tulo and Eileen Vikamatana to join the squad on Friday. Officials are confident the lifters will do the country proud.
We've got some very, very good lifters. A lot of them are very inexperienced though, so it's on the day that really counts, and so hopefully they can keep it together and perform under pressure.
The Oceania Weightlifting Championship will be held at Vodafone Arena in Suva from next week Tuesday until Saturday. That's it from Sports Tonight. Jack is back with business.
The lack of skill set for tiling works in the modernisation project of the Nandi International Airport has seen contractors Hawkins Construction recruit from Samoa. The company is now handling all tiling works at the departure check-in area that will open to members in August.
It's available in Fiji. There is actually a Samoan company that's doing tiling in Fiji. They obviously have done some good work and the contractors are aware of them. We understand that it's some work in New Zealand. So they're here now working on the site. We don't necessarily have the right level of skill sets. There may be tilers available in Fiji, but they may not necessarily be at that level of expertise that these people are providing.
The Nandi International Airport modernisation project is expected to be complete by March 2017. Doubletree Resort by Hilton Fiji, Sonaisali Island, has opened its doors for tourists and locals in Nandi. The resort has 120 guest rooms and bures have been refurbished as part of the renovation. Paul Hutton, Vice President Operations, Australasia Hilton Worldwide, says the newly refurnished resort is ready to provide guests the Fijian experience whilst delivering the comforts and amenities of a full-service resort. It also features 3 conference spaces, making it an ideal setting for a unique corporate event or spectacular tropical wedding. Fine weather apart from brief showers prevailed over most parts of the country today. Savo was the coolest spot in the nation at 29 today. Everywhere else temperatures were between 32 and 33 degrees. Tomorrow's forecast, expect conditions much like today, comfortable temperatures under cloudy skies with brief showers about the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands, moderate southeast winds, moderate seas. And the further outlook is for Thursday, it's fine apart from isolated afternoon or evening showers. Recapping the main stories for tonight, Hayne gets worldwide media attention as he is cleared to play for the Fiji Sevens team. Sugar consultations in Lambasa hears of differences in opinions. An International Day Against Homophobia and Transphobia imparts message of equality. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Moving on to our poll question. And the question we are asking this week is, should Jarryd Hayne be included in the Sevens team for Olympics? To answer, visit our FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. Good night.
आपको खुरगंगा की रंजुला का नमस्कार। रेडियो फिजी की सुंदर सुंदर यादों का खजाना एकदम बचपन के दिन याद करा देते हैं।
हमारा नाम जोनी नायडू है, हम रहता है मलोलो में और हम टैक्सी ड्राइवर है। हम सब टाइम अपन टैक्सी में रेडियो फिजी सुनता प्रोग्राम।
हम सिंगाचोका के हैं, हमारा नाम है रोजी। हम लोग यहाँ पे रेडियो फिजी 2 सुनता है।
राम राम, मैं रेमस प्रसाद बोलता हूँ, तब वहाँ में कोई रहता हूँ। मैं जब भी सुना रेडियो फिजी 2 ही सुनता हूँ।
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।